Hi viewers and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is HP Fashions GY. So in today's tutorial, we'll be learning on how to cut and sew a sleeveless burstier with a seamless front zipper, most suitable for breastfeeding mothers. Okay, so at this point now I've taken the length of my top, then I'm taking the shoulder, then 8.5 for the armhole depth, then my half length 17 inches. That's what I'll be using. All right, and the full length of this I used 22. Okay, so at this point now we're dividing bust measurement by 4, which is bust of 44 divided by 4. Then I'm adding up extra 2.5 inches seam allowance. Then I'll just go ahead and connect my armhole to my shoulder. Then I'll be taking my waist measurement, waist of 37 divided by 4. Then I will just go ahead and insert it at that point with extra 2.5 inches allowance. Then afterwards I'll go ahead and connect them all together, then just slant the downside of this. Okay, so this is how it looks like. I'll go ahead and cut it all out. Okay, so at this point now, this particular part is for the back side. Okay, it doesn't have any zipper at the back or whatsoever, or the zipper will be at the front. So this is actually the back side. So after getting these, I'll go ahead and place this particular one on my front fabric. Then I will just go ahead and add up extra allowance to the front. Okay, I'll be adding up like about 2.5 inches or 2 inches at the front. Then once that is done, I'll go ahead and trace, then cut it all out. I'll just make sure everything is perfect, and I will go ahead and cut it out like this. Okay, so once I'm done cutting this downside, I'll go ahead and trim up from the shoulder part. Right, so I'll just go ahead and make sure everything is perfect. I actually cut this from my main lining first before I'll go ahead and transfer to my main fabric. So once I've gotten the front and the back, I will go ahead and trim up the side. All right, I came down by 1 inch this way. Then I will trim up this side 1 inch from the side. Okay, so this is how it looks like. So once this is done, I'll go ahead and separate the back from the front. So this is actually the front. I will take my neck depth of 7 inches. All right, then I'll be taking my bust point measurement. At this point I'll be using 4.5. All right, because I actually added a little allowance for the seam of my zipper. All right, so I'm actually meant to use 4.2, but at this point I'll be using 4.5. Okay, so at this point now I'll mark this until I get to the upper part of this. Then I will just stop right there. Then I will take my under bust measurement. I'm using 14.5. 14.5 my under bust. Then my bust point, I'm making of 3 points for my bust point. 11, 11.5, then 10.5. Okay, so 11 is actually the main one, so I went up by ½ inch and come down by ½ inch. So I'm making a minus of 1 inch from both sides, 1 inch from this side and 1 inch from the other side. Once I get to my under bust, I will stop right there. Then at this point now, I'll be taking a side of 5.5, a minus from the side 5.5. Then I will just connect down to the depth of the middle neckline, which is 7 inches. Then I'm still making a minus of 1 inch from this side. Then I'll go ahead and connect the curves. All right, so I will connect the other side as well. Okay, so I'll go ahead and connect it this way. So once this is perfect, the curve is actually giving what I like, I'll go ahead and trim up the upper part, which serve as a yoke. If had it been I'm actually adding a yoke to this dress, I will actually use that upper part to get my yoke, but there is no yoke on this dress. So now I'll go ahead and trim off the excess allowance. to the dress. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, so this is what we have at this point, and this. So at this point, this is my main fabric. So I'll just go ahead and place this and trace exactly how it is. Okay, so I actually used my lining as a pattern because I know I will definitely use a lining for this. That was why I used my lining directly. So this is exactly what I'm actually doing at this point. Okay, so I'll keep this aside. I've gotten this part, so I'll go ahead and trim this side for my bust here. Okay, so I'll trim up the downside, follow up the shape, and take it up. I actually used exactly the same measurements. I did not add any extra to it. So this is exactly what it is. So this is the back side. I'm making a depth of 8 inches and the side the same. The side I'll be using 6.5 for the side. Then I'll just go ahead and connect them this way. All right, so if you remember, the side of the front side is 5.5, then for the back is 6.5. All right, so at this point now, I'm be taking the length of the wideness of the sleeve. Remember, it's a sleeveless, so I'll be using 2 inches. I don't want it to be too slim. Okay, so I don't want it to be too slim. So I actually folded this fabric into two so that I will get the both sleeve. So at this point now, I'll be marking for the front, which is 5.5. Then for the back, which is 6.5. Okay, then I'll add up extra 1.5 inches allowance for seam allowance. Okay, so when I'm done, I'll just go ahead and cut this. Then I'll be getting 2 of this, so I'll place this right on this one, then get the same measurements, then trim off the excess allowance. So this will serve as the sleeve. All right, so at this point now, I'll go ahead and divide the middle part of the bust here. Okay, so if I spread open, this is what I should be getting after dividing it. So at this point now, I'll go ahead and attach my pad, the breast foam, to my dress. So I'll go ahead and start my sewing right from the down part all the way up. Okay, so I'm actually using less, at most 1/2 inch to do this joining. Okay, so I'll actually join this with 1/2 inch, nothing more and nothing less. So I'm just making sure that everything is actually equal. So when this is done, I'll take off this excess thread, and when I spread open, this is what I should have when I spread open. And I've yet to iron this. Okay, so I'll go ahead and repeat the same procedure in the other side of my bust here. Okay, so I'm joining all my measurement, all my joining will actually come from the downside of my dress. So I'll start the joining from the downside. I'll join using 1/2 inch, making sure that every part of this is actually accurate. Okay, so this moment, since I'm joining this, I'm actually watching my measurement as well. So at this point, I'll just stitch at this point, take off the excess thread, but then spread open. So I'll go ahead and notch the under bust side so that it will sit perfectly, just a notch. Okay, so when I spread open, this is what I should be getting. So once this is done, I will go ahead and give it a very nice press. Okay, so I'll go ahead and iron this dress very well so that it will sit perfectly. So at this point now, I'm done ironing it. This is how it looks, very neat and beautiful. Okay, this is how it is. I'm done ironing my cups. So when I spread open, this is what I should have. Okay, so this is how it looks like. All right, so at this point now, go ahead and fold my sleeve, then top stitch then fold the other side and top stitch. Okay, so I'm done top stitching. I'll go ahead and turn it all up, then give it a very nice press. Okay, so at this point, this is the back side of it. I'll go ahead and run a thread on the downside, sew the downside. Then at this point, I'm top stitching the downside. Okay, so this is how it looks like. So after that, I will go ahead from the middle side of the neckline. I will mark 7 inches on this side. Then from the middle, I'm marking the same 7 inches on the back side of the dress. So once I've marked it, I'll go ahead and place my sleeveless, the sleeve. Okay, the end part of the sleeve is, it will start from the 7 inches to the inside. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this clearly. So this is it. All right, so when I turn, this is the 7 inches. Then I will join it. I'll sew it with half an inch. I've joined it. So at this point now, I will spread it open, then top stitch on the lining part. Okay, I've top stitched already. All right, so I'll just go ahead and close up the sides of it. So I've closed up the sides as well. So I'll go ahead and insert my dart. I'm using a wideness of 4.2. all right, or yeah, 4.2, then length of 9 inches on both sides. All right, so I've done my darts. All right, so this is it. So when I turn to the front, this is how it looks like. I'll go ahead and give it a very nice press. All right, so at this point now, this is the front side of the dress. I'll mark ½ inch on the down part, then place my zipper on that ½ inch line. Then I will use my needle to secure this. Then I will place on my sewing machine and join this way with ½ an inch or less than ½ an inch. All right, so this is how it looks like. So I'll have to place for the second side as well. Then I'll go ahead and join it. So I've joined this is it. So at this point now, I'll go ahead and add my sleeve to the front side of this. I'm making a wideness of about 5.5 inches. All right, so I've marked it. So at this point now, I'll go ahead and add my sleeve to it. Then I'll use a pin to secure this. Okay, I'll use my pin to secure this. Okay, so this is it. So now I will use my lining now to cover the two, which is the zipper and the main dress. So at this point now, I'll start my joining from the downside. Okay, remember I left ½ an inch on the down part, so I'll definitely start my joining from that down part. Okay, so I've pinned the down part. So at this point now, I'm joining the down part. I'm joining the down part like to turn it all up. Okay, so I will just make do of the ½ inch I left there before I added my zipper. So I'll just go ahead and join it with ½ an inch. So once I'm done joining that part, I'll take off my thread. Then I will top stitch on the lining side. Okay, I will top stitch on the lining side. I'll top stitch on the lining side. So once I'm done with this, I will turn the lining to the other side. I will turn my lining to the other side of the dress. Then I will sew the upper part. All right, so the lining covered both the zipper and the upper part. So at this point now, I'm joining both the lining and the dress, the main dress, together at this point. Okay, so the lining is actually on the right side of the dress under the rough side. So this is it. I'll just go ahead and cut off this excess zipper. Then I will definitely open up, spread and top stitch my lining. I'll top stitch on my lining. Okay, so once this is done, I'll go ahead and take off the excess thread. Okay, then now I will turn the dress. I will turn it to the right side of this zipper. Then I will make sure I sew right on top of the main stitches. There's a first stitches I made when I was joining my my zipper. All right, so I will stop stitch on top of the stitches as well. Okay, so because I'm trying to like make the zipper to be invisible, to make the stitches to be seamless. All right, okay, so I'm actually taking my time to get the stitches back. So it's actually very important I top stitch on top of the stitches in order to not to intrude or sew on top of my main zipper. So I'm done with this. I'll go ahead and turn it all up. All right, so this is how it looks like. This is it, looking very beautiful. So at this point now, I'll go ahead and attach my zipper together because I've made the other side of it. So I'll zip it all up together. This is how it looks like. This is the inner part of this. So you find this video very helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. So at this point now, I'll go and give a very nice press, then shape of my dress. So this is the final look of this. This is the inner part, looking very neat and beautiful. So this is HP Fashions GY. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, so I added a drop sleeve on the side. I decided to add a drop sleeve to know how it would look like, and it still looks beautiful. Okay, so this is the final look of this dress, looking very beautiful. So I decided to rock it with my main dress. All right, see you next time in my next video. Bye.